Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I guess I'm going to entitle this video, Please Go Get Formal Bass Lessons. Because I do a lot of guitar covers and I do bass covers too. And I always tell people that are watching my channel that are trying to learn to become a good guitar player, go study formally. You're not going to become a good guitar player watching me, because I didn't get to where I'm at by watching another do fingers. I took formal lessons. I studied for years. It's a commitment, and you got to make a commitment to this. Because I'm gonna say this right quick. I got a friend, dear good friend of mine, and I started to think about trying to get into martial arts, because he's a first degree black belt. He teaches it, and I told him that I was interested, and before I could finish, he stopped me. Said, "Let me just stop you right here." He said, "If you don't have 10 years to commit to this, don't even go there." I said, "Thank you." Because it wasn't that I didn't want to learn. I'm like, I don't think I got 10 years to study to get to black belt. I'm like, so I appreciate you heading me off, instead of creating a unrealistic approach to you can get there with, by taking shortcuts like with guitar. So I make an emphasis on that for guitar, but today I'm going to make an emphasis on that on bass too, because it applies to bass too. Because I'm going to read you a comment I got from a gentleman a couple of months ago. I did a cover of Michael Jackson's "I Can't Help It." I love that song, especially the bass line. It's one of the coolest, jazziest bass lines I've ever heard. And oddly enough, factually, or can't even get out, Stevie Wonder actually wrote that song, and you can hear Stevie's signature sound in that song. And then Pebbles did a cover of it. She did a great job too. So I'm going to read you this because when I do my bass lessons, I put the notes across the screen. So this is the comment I got from this gentleman. He said, "I have no idea what those letters mean." Right there, that statement right out of the gate, it's like, go get formal lessons too. You need to know what you need to know. "I have no idea what those letters mean. I play by tabs. Tabs is a poor man cheat sheet. Tabs is a shortcut to just putting your finger somewhere, but it's not teaching you what that note is. I strongly urge you guys, toss that, because it's garbage. It's a poor man's cheat sheet. The standard format to become a professional musician is this, not that. Because you can't become a professional and you can't read and you relying on tabs. Because just good, when you go to a professional recording studio, I'm not talking about your friend's basement studio. I'm talking about a full-fledged recording studio where they cut records that sell millions of records. That recording studio, the original one. You go in there and the producer give you sheet music, None of this tab stuff would put your finger here, so that's why you shouldn't waste your time with that. Because if you become a professional grade musician, and one might say, well, I ain't trying to be a professional musician. Guess what? I wasn't either. You know what I was trying to be, and when I was younger? A professional baseball player. I went to college on a free baseball scholarship, and I was on my way to the minors and something happened, which I was going to go into to derail my career. I said, oh, well. So then I really started falling in love with music, because I had already was able to play and play well, but I'm like, this is what I want to do, but then some, faith kicked in and it kicked me out, so that was my first passion, and that's the direction I was trying to go. But I became pretty good at music that I just said, hey, go for it, and then I became a professional musician. And when you go into the professional recording studios, like I said, not your bass friend's buddy's basement studio, you expect it to be able to read. You expect it to write tabulation. Because, should I say this? When you think of the word tab, it's a shortcut or abbreviation for tabulation. Tabulation means write notes, not finger placements. So I just want to make that clear, because I think some people think they're one and the same, and they're not. So I strongly urge anybody that's going to do this, because even if you just want to do it on an enjoyment level, it's good to know everything you need to know. Instead of, I can do this, but I can't do that. You start to limit yourself. So You said I play by tabs. Where I can find, where can I find the tab? Where can find the tab? I guess you mean where can I find the tabs for this song? I don't know. I don't deal in tabs, and I'm not trying to encourage anybody to deal in tabs because it's a poor man's cheat sheet, and you need to learn notes. You need to learn notation. It's not extremely difficult. To me, and each person have a different answer to this question. Somebody would ask me, what's the hardest instrument to tackle? Now, I'm not talking exotic instruments, just the typical bass drums, piano, keyboards, whatever. Me personally, it's keyboard, and I'll tell you why. Let me put this down, and then I'll pick back up on this. When you play guitar and bass, depending on what hand you are, so let's just say you are right-handed or left-handed. No, right-handed. You're right-handed, and you're playing guitar or bass. Let's just say bass. This hand here is very important because this is the hand where you finger your notes. This hand don't mean shit. This hand follow that hand. That's it. There's nothing special about this hand. It's this hand. Unless, again, you're left-handed and then it's the other way around. That applies to guitar playing or bass playing. With my rhythm hand, this means shit. It's this hand. This hand is this the one that's gripping the chords. This hand is just following this hand. Piano, they're both important. And I'll tell you why they're both important. To me, there are two different styles of playing piano. The first one is you're just playing chords, This hand plays the bass notes. This hand plays the chords. Say, for instance, you are playing it in complement, which is one of the instruments that you can really do that, because people do it on guitar, but I don't even like the sound of that when you got one guitar and you trying to play all this shit, the chords, the melody, all that. That doesn't move me. It just never did move me, because it's not as full as a piano. But when you're playing piano, now this hand, which is normally playing just the bass notes, got to play the chords, while this hand plays the melody. So they're both equally important. I think actually I would say this hand is more important in this case. Yes, actually it is. Than this hand when you're playing piano. That's why I think piano is the most difficult instrument to tackle and tackle well. Because again, with bass and guitar, this hand don't mean shit. It's this hand. This hand is doing all the work. This hand is just following that hand. But that's my opinion. The answer to that question for another person might be something totally different. So, okay, I'm going to read the entire thing again. I have no idea what all those notes, all those letters mean. I play by tab. Where can I find the tab? You make this look so easy, and my ear has made me... Damn. Let me read this again. You have made this look so easy, and my ear has me in the right places watching your hands. But I have no sense of music theory whatsoever. It's not that hard, It just takes a deal of commitment. You got to say to yourself one day, I'm going to do this shit. I'm going to start here and I'm going to finish this off. But still, I'm going to start, kind of get a little bit past the starting point and just burn out and crash, And for some people, it is what it is, because everybody's not designed or meant to play, and some people give it a valid effort and they just realize this just ain't me, Because one of my brothers, when he seen me getting good, he said, oh shit, I want to learn. So he was on it too, Every day I come home from work, he had my guitar and he playing and studying, and this went on for like 3 months, and then he's like, fuck it. But his talent is a lot of other things. It's one thing about that particular brother. He has a good aptitude for technical stuff. He's really, really good at that. So that was his thing. So he's like, I'm gonna leave the guitar alone and focus on this. But the purpose of this video again is to encourage you guys, go get formal lessons. Even if you just want to do this on a personal basis to play, take it to the level, take it all the way, I strongly discourage you guys from messing with that tab stuff, because it's garbage. It's garbage. Don't mess with the garbage. Focus on studying. Find someone, pay them for their time. Don't expect hands out. Being a grown-ass man, expect another grown-ass man to give you something for free. Pay the people that provide a service for you. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to sign off, because this didn't dawn on me until years later. And I'm going to show you something that's real simple and will take a lot of guesswork out of learning the notes on on the bass or the guitar. This is a typical 4-string. Now, you say to yourself, man, I gotta learn all these notes on 4 different strings. No, you don't. Actually, you only have to learn the notes on the E and the A. And one might ask, well, why not the other ones? You know why? Because the notes on the E string, as far as placement of notes, you can find those same notes on your D string. What I mean by that is this. This is a G. This is a G2. You just keep sliding it down. So, and the same thing with this. This is a C. This is a C. Just slide it up and down. So, basically, technically, you're only learning notes on 2 strings because automatically you know the notes on the other 2 strings because of the original first 2 strings. And that never occurred to me until one day I said, ain't this? It just like a light bulb went up. Boom. It's like, man. Because I just never thought about it. So it's not that difficult to find the notes on your bass. It's not that difficult to read notation notes. Because like this gentleman said, he didn't know what these letters were meant. They're not letters, they're notes, you know. And again, when you take formal lessons, you're taught all that stuff. Because I know now with the internet, people, I'm going to do all this stuff by myself. It takes a great deal of study to become a decent player. And most of us just become decent players. We're not super great players. We're just decent. And I'm comfortable and cool with that, you know. You know, when you first start off, you have this unrealistic expectation. I'm going to be like Ernie Ives. I'm going to be like Eddie Van Halen. Those were my 2 guitar heroes. I'm like, I'm going to try to get there. It's a joke, you know. But I did become good enough to play professionally. I'm like, I'm happy where I'm at musically. I am, you know. As you get older, you get a little better. But I'm like, don't get discouraged when you can't do the things that these exceptional players are able to do. And those are exceptional players, you know, but just getting the job done will satisfy the average music listener. You know, no guy that has no music experience is not going to critique you. So, well, you missed that and you ain't that fast and you ain't running the scales. No one's going to come to you and say that kind of stuff, you know. So, you know, one of my favorite bass players of all time, believe it or not, is Cool in the Game. Robert Bell, I think his name is. Because he got a brother in the group. But the bass player for Cool in the Game just gets the job done. He's not all these real fast notes and playing melodies on his bass and all that stuff. He's just getting the job done. And I was like, if I could just get the job done, I'm happy with my playing and I am able to get the job done. You know, I can do some complex stuff, but I'm like, I'm comfortable with just getting the job done. You know, because the average listener, again, is not going to just horn in on one instrument and say, you ain't doing this, or you ain't that fast like the other dudes, and none of that. You know, you can make them happy. Don't take that much. Just do a good job and do your best, you know. And that's all that is asked of anybody. So I'm going to sign off now, but I thought this was important to do this video for the bass players, you know, because it goes, this applies to the bass players like it does to the guitar players. Go get formal lessons. Stop watching people on the internet, just watching their fingers. I'm cheap and I don't want to pay nobody. Now that's some of you guys, not all, but you know, a whole lot of you guys, I ain't got to do that. It's going to sound like you taught yourself when you teach yourself. That's simple. Till next time, take care and thanks for watching.